Yeah,
It's
you
just
could put it on,
second.
and we'll start whenever. And Moroccan Brothers. Is that your?
Yeah.
That's your thing, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. And I'm sure you're gonna like be referencing Osama, right? His name. Like, do you
Yeah.
want me to read out both of your worth?
Wallah, whatever you.
Yeah. Okay. All
I'm
right.
so easygoing, so flexible.
Okay. Okay. All right. We'll do that then. All right. Safe. Ready?
Just a second, I just found it. Settings, display, auto lock.
Is it safe or Saifuddin?
Saif al-Haq.
Saif
But
al-Haq.
everyone calls me Saif, yeah.
Safe.
You know Brazil's playing Japan right now.
Yeah, I
You're a
heard.
football fan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Morocco's
man.
later today.
You're you're missing that for us, man. I
I
appreciate it. You know,
It's so good.
yesterday I was like, oh man,
Nah,
Japan are
it's
winning
okay.
as well.
Yeah, are they?
Yeah,
Bro, I couldn't figure it out.
And I got my phone on do not disturb, so
Okay,
I don't get no notifications.
okay. All right, you ready?
Bismillah.
All right, let's go for it.
Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome back to AAA Talks. My name is Mu'az. Alongside me is the usual.
Safe.
Safe, all good today?
I'm all good.
Yeah? Handling this surprisingly extremely hot British weather?
It hasn't been hot for us, man. Come on.
Yeah? No, well, it's been hot for me, but
You were away, weren't you?
I was away. I actually avoided the whole heat wave.
You're going blacker than me, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, listen. Once I go black, I don't go back. All right, a bit of banter. But guys, I have got with me brother Jamal. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
Sure.
Bro, I've been looking at your socials. I've been looking at what you guys have been doing. Brother Jamal is part of Moroccan Brothers. It's you and your colleague Osama.
Correct.
Are you actually brothers?
No, we're not. We're like
Okay.
best friends. but
Okay, mashallah.
Mashallah.
Yeah, going into business with best friends. I mean, yeah, it could be.
It can have its hiccups. It can have it.
It could make or break the relationship. So I'm
Exactly.
assuming it's made the relationship.
Alhamdulillah.
Safe? Can I say the same about you?
What, friend? I
I'm
think it's
joking.
harder with brothers, actual blood brothers.
Yeah,
bro.
of course,
But, yeah.
of course. But Jamal, mashallah. Look, this guy, you know, he's a property developer in Morocco. I won't give you justice. I've got a few numbers of earnings and value that I'm going to mention, which is a bit, mashallah, amazing. It should be something that young brothers should aspire to be like. We're going to get through how you guys could get involved, and actually it seems like it's not as hard as we think it is. But first of all, in less than a minute, could you brief the audience on exactly what it is that you do?
Yeah, so I'm a developer by trade. So I'm a developer in Morocco and in the UK. I own a few agencies. Two of the biggest ones that I have is the Moroccan Brothers, which we coach people on how to invest in Morocco. And we also have a real estate agency. So we help people either invest, purchase, sell, and so forth.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna read a few stats here, and this might, mashallah. I mean, can I ask how old you are?
28.
You're 28.
Psalm's 27. yeah,
Okay,
my
so
bad.
guys, they're both in their 20s. Okay,
Amazing stuff.
so
actually,
this is-
subhanallah.
Started at 15, disclaimer though.
15.
Started at 15.
Okay. So between the two of you, you have 58 properties,
Correct.
and that's a combination of villas and apartments.
Correct.
Your GDV, which is gross development value, is £8 million.
Correct.
Allahumma barik.
Mashallah. Mashallah.
And your monthly income between the two of you is £200,000.
Correct.
Okay. MashaAllah. Listen, all you guys, don't be giving ayn, yeah? Don't be
Allahumma
hating, yeah? Allahumma barik, yeah? This is amazing, guys. It is incredible to see brothers, you know, from our community, graduate from our community and go on to do this stuff. And actually, you know, be at the forefront of this stuff. And inshallah,
Thank you.
may Allah allow it to
Ameen.
facilitate it to continue more and more.
I mean,
Where you benefit and you benefit
Yeah.
others. The question I have for you now is,
Tell me.
why do you believe Morocco is a prime market right now instead of the UK?
It's a very good question. I've invested in both, so I know both markets, right? In terms of the return that I've seen with myself or with investors, Morocco is considerably higher. Now, arguably, comes with more risk, 100%. But from a return on investment and a return on capital, I much rather prefer Morocco. It's, first of all, it's my home. You know, I'm from there. I understand the market well, but I've tested it, so it's easier for me. Easier said than done. I think when you're going into it and you don't know how to invest there, it's very difficult. But I kind of got into it by mistake at 18, and it worked out. So for every pound I put in, I see way more in Morocco, so I'd rather go there.
And there's a lot of UK landlords that are watching this right now, and they're probably looking at the screen and saying, "Nah, man, stick to what's closer to you. Stick to what you could get your hand on, and stick to what's closer to home." I'm looking at someone here. that-
Okay. So I'm actually a landlord here and a property developer in the UK.
Alhamdulillah.
And I will still push for investing in the UK, but I'll understand it from you because you've got your hands in both places.
Okay.
But just to understand, Jamal, you're saying in terms of number, what you're looking at in terms of return on a Moroccan investment of 100K compared to the UK? Because UK, you're looking at on residential probably 6% at most, but that's not including capital,
Yeah.
just the yield itself. And on commercial, a little bit more, but slightly riskier. What you're looking at in Morocco
and give us and just to add to that, give us a time frame as well.
Of course, 100%.
And also, guys watching as well, like, we're not always talking about marriage and women, okay? So here is an
Talk about-
opportunity
we talk about
for you
business
to make
too.
money and good business as well,
So
inshallah.
you're talking about in the UK
Yeah.
when you rent it out, so a yield perspective, correct?
Yeah, when you rent it out.
So you're talking about long-term rent, because in Morocco we call it habitation. So in Morocco, for example, we've got some I have under habitation and some I have under Airbnb. So do short-term rent.
But even if you do short-term rent, you're looking at the general annual yield as a long-term. So you'll have your days that are off. I've done Airbnb as well, and you'll have days that are peak seasons, which is doing a bit better. But eventually, when you look at the whole year as a financial year, you'd see this is how much I got in return compared to what I would have done if I put a long-term tenant in.
It's around, on average, around 15 to 22% on average.
So a 100K investment will get you 15% return in Morocco. If we look at a wholesome sum,
Let's talk
Between
ballpark figure, yeah.
More or less, 15 to about 22%.
that's amazing.
It's not bad.
Incredible. It's much better than Dubai. But
Bearing in mind with my stats, right, on average, when I invest, I make back the value of the property within 5 to 7 years, on average.
Okay.
So if I buy, let's keep the numbers short and simple, 100K property,
Yeah.
100K property, right,
Mm.
in GBP, in 5 to 7 years, I would have made it back.
Okay.
That's a hard stat to beat in the UK. I would
That
say.
is, yeah, you get that back in what way?
Just by renting it out. So
Okay.
the net profits that I make within 5 years, I would make back the value of the property on average. That's what I've seen with our portfolio, myself and Osama.
Okay. Okay. And let's say somebody now has £100,000 saved. He has no idea what he wants to do with it. Yeah. He doesn't want to take any shortcuts anymore because he's been burnt by crypto and, and then the stock market. Yeah. He made
oh
some
my
money.
gosh, the
but-
crypto stories are
yeah,
mad, bro.
Yeah, they made some
SubhanAllah.
money, but they lost more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I
And
always
they
say
don't
that
tell you
about
about the
it. They don't
losses.
tell you. They don't.
Wallahi,
Well,
this
that
one
is
brother I
even
know in
something.
crypto apparently made like £200,000-300,000. MashaAllah, good for him. But he's still driving his sister's micro.
Yeah.
So what's he doing with that money,
Well,
bro?
he made it, but you lost it. Yeah, he never made it and kept it, did he? So a guy sitting on £100,000 doesn't know what to do, wants to invest it in property in the UK, but now he's looking at this podcast and he's thinking, "Oh, these Moroccan brothers, I want to give them a shot." What are you promising that person?
With 100,000,
Sorry, if you just get closer to the mic, yeah.
of course.
Sorry, bring it back. Yeah,
Definitely.
go for it.
with 100,000, I mean, a question for you guys. Let me counter the question back. If you do have 100,000, what really can you buy in the UK unless you go into the Midlands?
You go to the Midlands. Not even
But
the Midlands anymore.
even the
to be
Midlands is
honest.
starting to get expensive.
Yeah. I'm hearing like maybe go up to Bradford.
Exactly. With 100,000, it's going to go a lot more in Morocco because now, if you're in the UK, for example, we're going to have to go. You have the Midlands here, let's say Birmingham, Nottingham here, and then you have the Upper Midlands. So you're going to have to go to the Upper Midlands. In Morocco, for example, let's talk about Marrakesh. With £100,000, we don't have to go out of Marrakesh. We're going to touristic areas, and we can go for 2-bedroom apartments. And these are new apartments, or relatively new, let's say within 2 years. And we're investing in that. Of course, if you're using Islamic financing, you could leverage debt if you want and get more than one. But let's say you're just doing outright cash, then you can purchase one property with it.
Islamic finance is only for a Moroccan citizen, as I understand, right?
At the moment, yes. Before, it was for
Hmm.
foreign investors. But then they closed it, I think, around 7+ years ago, so it's been a while now.
Okay.
I do think they will bring it back though. I think
Mm.
they're just holding their cards a little bit just to see how they're performing, basically.
But as a British citizen, you can actually outright purchase with your passport, with your
Very
name.
easily.
It doesn't have to be under a Moroccan citizen like
Doesn't
in
have to be
Saudi
at
or
all,
somewhere. No.
Morocco welcomes foreign investors.
Mm.
There's not much red tape.
Not much. The only thing you can't do is you can't buy agricultural land. So that's number one.
Mm.
And agricultural land, I'll be honest, unless you're a developer, you don't really want land that far out. So they don't really see it. And the deposits you pay is a little bit more higher. So let's say if you do go for, I would advise against it, but let's say someone does go for a riba bank, right?
Okay.
A normal Moroccan can get it at 10%. A foreign investor would have to pay 30%.
Okay.
Those are the only two caveats.
And what about someone who's paying it upfront, outright?
Upfront, outright.
Any problems with that?
No problems at all.
Really? Okay.
Morocco really welcomes foreign investors, like
Interesting.
massively.
And what do you see? What is it about Morocco long term that will attract foreign investment?
I think it's well, first of all, it's one of, if not the most visited destination in competition with Egypt in Africa,
Mm.
right? I think at the moment it is number one. I could be wrong. Maybe
Mm.
Egypt's going
Yeah,
going more.
that's my
but
country, bro.
yeah, exactly. So that's why I try to be careful with my words.
I couldn't care less.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
No, it
I
has
would-
been hiking. I've seen the reports. It's hiked up like
Exactly,
crazy over
massively.
the last few years.
And
Tourism.
exactly.
Yeah.
And when with the ties Morocco has, especially to Western countries, they're starting now to do a lot more trade. So before, Morocco primarily only made money from tourism. Now it's starting to push a lot of its agriculture towards the Western world, and especially with certain technologies they're pushing out. So we're seeing a big change in the gross per capita that's being done in Morocco, which is pushing all the values to go higher.
So give me a worked example. You've been there for how many years now? 10 years?
Yeah.
From
it's
18, now
also-
you're 28, so 10 years. An investment there for a 2-bedroom flat 10 years ago compared to now, how much would it have cost?
I brought.
We're
I
looking
have
at
actually-
specifically
have a-
Marrakesh, right?
Yeah, I have a really good example. The first property I bought was in
Mm.
Hamid, which is like a 10-minute drive from the airport. Not the most touristic
What, in
location.
Marrakesh.
In Marrakesh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Called Hamid. I bought that for 17,000 euros. And I bought that when I was 18. So
Wait, is that where they're building all the villas?
no, Hamid is it's like 10 minutes from the airport this way. It's a developing.
Okay.
I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I know we call it developing area,
Yeah,
but it's not as
Okay.
Yeah.
affluent as other areas.
Okay.
Let's say. But the value today of that property is 62k.
Oh wow.
So,
So it's tripled over 10 years.
yes,
Yeah, that's excellent. Okay.
it's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know, you normally get double over 10 years probably in UK markets.
Bearing
but-
in mind, we're talking about an area that's not so sought out by foreign investors. If that was something that was in, for example, Gilis, that would have gone up maybe 6 times plus.
Mm.
Is Gilead, that's the new area, right?
It's really up and coming.
New
So
city.
it's very, very known, Gili. So when
Yeah.
a tourist comes to Marrakesh, they probably want to go to Gilis
Yeah.
or Hevenage or Medina, which is like city centre. That's where you got all the riads and everything.
Would you buy a property in the Medina?
If you can afford it, yeah.
I was just about to say, yeah.
if you
I
can
heard that
afford
it's
it.
like London prices.
Yeah, you got riads that are like 4-5 bedrooms going for 500,000, 600k, and riads from 8 bedrooms plus are a million plus.
Yeah, because
But
that
that-
Medina, that Jam Al Ifna area is like the foot flow, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anywhere in the world, apart from maybe Mecca and Medina, where that square kilometer
Yeah.
Yeah.
visited so much. We're
Yeah.
talking
You know,
like
that was
100,000 a day. Like
Yeah.
just for context, a few years ago.
Is this in
I-
Marrakesh you're talking
Marrakesh.
about?
I think this is why Marrakesh kind of went on the map in terms of tourism. David Beckham had his birthday party there.
yeah,
So I mean that's a pretty big feat, right?
yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's hotels in Hevenage.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
in,
Didn't know that.
yeah.
And Richard Branson
Yeah.
has
yeah,
a hotel
yeah.
in a very lovely area that I love to visit called Imlil in the mountains, in the Atlas Mountains.
I think he was going to do a massive development there once and bought.
I heard. Yeah.
He didn't do it, did he? Richard Branson, we're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Actually, I don't know. You know,
There's been a lot of foreign investment,
a
though.
lot of foreign.
Yeah, because that's what's hiked up the prices in London because foreign investors coming in, the rich Russians, Arabs,
Qatar.
Chinese.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Half
No,
of London's owned by Qatar.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, but it's just it's good for like small landlords and stuff like that. You find out your property's double the price for no reason, but yeah,
Exactly, skyrockets.
yeah.
That's not good for us guys at the bottom.
I I don't think you're at the bottom, bro.
I was going to ask you, what kind of risks do you foresee could happen to somebody that is in the UK that wants that same 100k he wants to invest in Morocco? What kind of risks?
I'd say the biggest risk is the people that you trust.
Hmm.
That's a big one, and the advice that you get. I think advice is huge because with Morocco in particular, right? It's very different culture to the UK. With the UK, I would argue, correct me if I'm wrong, that I found it quite easy, alhamdulillah, to make money in the UK without having to have crazy contacts.
Mm.
It-
Yeah,
In Morocco, it's very different. It's who you know.
yeah. It's
It's
just
not
like,
what you know exactly. So if you are using the wrong notary, let's say you're not using a lawyer, you're using a particular agent, and this agent is telling you how great this investment is. Now, I never want to talk down on someone, far from it. But if an agent is trying to sell you something, and the only way he or she gets paid is if you buy, maybe it's not the best advice to take from that particular person. So I would say that the biggest risk is trusting the wrong people, especially in Morocco.
And that's with business altogether in
100%.
general, everywhere.
Yeah.
I've seen brothers who's invested in Turkey, not us, but he lost about £200,000, a fair deal of money, and can't even sleep at night. MashaAllah, a
Imagine.
really good brother.
yeah.
Pray next to him all the time. But subhanAllah, someone ripped him off. He trusted the wrong person, and the 200 grand just went missing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just going back to the 10 years and it tripled, that flat you gave as an example. One thing I noticed with Turkey is whilst it doubled in some cases, the currency was so poor that you ended up either having the same investment back or even losing because the lira dropped by,
Yeah.
four folds.
A lot.
How is the currency? Because I don't know,
The Moroccan dirham.
between the last 10 years, has it stayed steady or has it lost value against the sterling?
It hasn't lost value.
Okay.
It's on the
excellent.
opposite, actually. Morocco's very politically stable. Very
Mm.
alhamdulillah, at the moment. You don't know
Yeah.
about the future, right? But at the moment, we haven't seen in the past 10 years of it losing its value. Now, of course, every currency loses value to inflation. That we can't beat, right? That's just
But
standard.
isn't it tied with the euro?
It's.
I
what's
mean,
it backed by?
if you're buying a property, like for example in Egypt, you're buying a property, you're buying in dollars.
Mm.
So whatever happens to the Egyptian currency, it's now dollars. And I think Turkey have now adopted the same thing,
Yeah.
where they're just kind of like saving their backs basically. So are you buying in euros in Morocco, or is it in
No,
dirham?
it's in dirhams.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mm. But to be honest though, yeah, the dirham has been stable for it's been £1's been 12 dirham for years.
More or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it stagnates from 12.0 to let's say 13, give or take, and it just
Yeah.
goes up and down.
Yeah,
It's,
yes. I don't,
it's quite stable.
yeah.
Alhamdulillah for now. Don't
Alhamdulillah.
it?
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so if something does happen with the currency, then that will affect you guys.
To somewhat degree.
Yeah.
It just depends on. I believe in diamond hands. If you hold long enough, then it depends. Because if we look at Turkey, for example, it's completely different with the lira. But I
Yeah.
would argue Turkey's not politically stable at all.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
I thought they've been doing all right, their government, no?
I
They've
think
been progressing a lot
look
on a
at-
lot of fronts.
yeah. But look at the lira.
Not just development, but lira, because I think currency and
they've got such an up and down relationship with America, and their economy is pretty much tied to the dollar. And
it's like certain people control the currencies.
So,
And if you're good with
yeah,
those certain people,
then you're okay.
then they're okay. Like, who owns the IMF?
Yeah.
You know, I saw Sri Lanka, for instance. Only time I stayed in what's that place called? Shangri-La, right? Really expensive hotel. I only afforded it, or I only went there because it was 4 times cheaper than usual because of the currency difference. It collapsed. The Sri Lankan currency collapsed in one of the days, and
oh wow,
yeah, crazy, bro.
and then they never raised the prices in time.
No, it's still for them. It's like £1,000 a night, but for me, that £1,000 a night was £200 a night because of the
That's
collapse.
that's worth it.
Yeah.
So going back to this individual that's watching this, he wants to spend £100,000 to buy a 2-bedroom flat in Morocco in a new city. What is the process?
So the process would be that this individual will have to start searching for property. So,
No, sorry. What would the process be with you?
Oh,
they've
to go
now
with me,
chosen
yeah.
you guys. Yeah.
so he can partner, or she can partner with our estate agency. So they can partner with someone. Someone on my team will give them a call, for example. So they will inquire through our social media. Someone on my team will give them a call. They will do a qualification to see the types of funding they have, their expectations, what type of property they want, and then we would tend to send them anywhere from 2 to 3 properties. They can get a feel if this is something that they would like to go for. And once we have that, our team work a bit more bespokely. So they would go out and start sourcing or check what's actively in our books, send a pipeline to them and see. But you have to understand, with every individual, we have some that have invested in property multiple times, others where it's the first time. So depending on where they are on a scale, we'll work with them very one-to-one. We generally hold their process. Like if you have to set up a company, we help you set up a company. If you have to use a particular lawyer, you're more than welcome to use the lawyers we use, or if you want, you can do your own research and we can help you through that research. So we'll take them through the whole process until they get the keys in their hand. And even after that, let's say they want to do it for an investment and they want to do it on Airbnb, for example, short-term rentals. We can partner them up with the management agencies. So we generally hold them through the whole process. We don't let go.
Wow.
And a question that most people have in their mind: where do you make your money and what are the fees?
Good question. So with the estate agency, we, just like, for example, most estate agencies, we charge the buyer and the seller. So if we work more bespokely and we can't find the buyer, or we have to partner with another agent because it's his buyer, then we would make it solely from the client. But if we have our hands in both pockets, where we have the client and we have the seller, then we would charge a percentage to both. Percentage sits anywhere from 2.5 to 3% on both sides.
So on the 100k investment, you'll charge 2 to 3%.
Yeah, well, 2.5 to 3% on
Yeah,
average.
okay.
Each.
Each, yeah.
Exactly.
We don't, yeah.
Turkey charge 5%.
Really?
5% is what?
They'll take 5% from buyer and seller. Yeah.
Oh, from both. Like,
both.
they just have 10% in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making a killing.
Cheeky. Okay. That's I want to kind of dig into what made you start this. You said at the beginning that you accidentally stumbled on this.
Correct.
How?
So I started deal sourcing in the UK when I was 15, and I didn't do very well at it. It took me an entire year to sell my
You
first
started what? Sorry.
deal sourcing.
What's deal sourcing?
So you've got investors that have money but no time, and then I had in particular time but no money. So they were developers looking to purchase property but didn't have the time to find it, or they're busy, or they're running multiple companies. So what I would do is I would broker the deal. So I would find properties that they could refurb, and I would charge a fee for it. Or now I charge a percentage for it. And that's
this
called
was
deal
in
sourcing.
London?
Yeah, I did this in London, yeah.
You were 15.
15. I didn't know what I was doing though.
How did you get away with that? I'm sure. Like,
Yeah.
you look young now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. How did you get
I
away with
can't
that?
imagine
man?
how you'd look
Like
at
a rich investor.
You know,
like, yeah.
I sold my first deal to this guy, God bless him. He was from East London. He bought my deal not because it was a good deal. He just bought it off me in order to, because he could have taken the deal off me. He could have cheated me because I didn't yet know how to stop people from cheating.
Ah.
He genuinely paid me for it, for 3,000 euros. So that was what, 2.6k, let's say, give or take. And it was a deal that I found him in East London, and he's the one that explained to me and showed me, because I went to a networking event, and he showed me how to find deals, how to analyze them. He could have taken a deal himself. So I just got lucky with my first deal, I'll be honest. But that's when it was the tipping point. Like, I knew it was possible, and then it started off from there.
And at the same time, were you doing your GCSEs, or you?
I was doing, this would have been 15. No, I wasn't even doing GCSEs yet.
Yeah.
16 I did my
Before-
GCSEs.
yeah.
So right a year before my GCSEs, basically.
And so, whilst doing GCSEs, and you went to college.
I went to sixth form. I went to Chiswick Community School. I did sixth
Okay.
form there. And then I went to university at Surrey. I did a
Okay.
degree in computer science and a master's in cybercrime and cybersecurity.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
you
didn't
went-
use it though. But
I was just about to say, like, I thought you were gonna give us a story of, I didn't go to university, and
no, I did.
and then
but-
I took this route, and it all
but it
worked out. But you actually took both
But
routes.
it was one of, honestly, it's one of my biggest regrets. Do you know why I went to uni? I always knew,
Well, uni was your biggest regret.
not my biggest, but it's up there.
Oh, okay.
Let me
that?
guess. Let me
Interesting,
guess.
okay.
Family pressure.
No, far from it. Far from it.
Okay.
I didn't have to go uni if I didn't want to. Obviously, my dad always wanted me to
Yeah.
go to uni.
Mm.
But he knew that alhamdulillah, I was already making some money, and he knew I came from an entrepreneurial mind, right?
Mm.
But I thought that I wanted to always raise finance growing up. And I can't ask someone to invest in my project if I don't come from a particular education. So I thought to myself, and it was very, very wrong, by the way, that I needed a degree minimum or a master's, so that when I'm in a room raising finance, everyone else is going to have a degree.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I thought they're going to ask me
It's a
what my
very
degree
old
was in.
school mentality.
Very,
yeah.
it was very silly, because
Yeah.
I've raised finance, alhamdulillah,
Yeah.
and I've never been asked what degree I have.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No,
It didn't help me at all.
Mashallah.
I do a lot of youth work, and there's this boy that just finished his GCSEs. He called me up the other day, and he said to me that he got a job in the local barbers in North London, and he's renting a chair, and he's making good money, and he's got clients. He's made a social media page, and he's like, Muaz, I want to do this full time, but my mum is telling me that I have to go to university. And I'm telling her, but Mama, I could be making anywhere between 50 to 100K because you're charging 25, 30 pounds on a haircut. And, you could do the maths, right? And she's telling him that she doesn't care how much money he'll make. At the end of the day, the position, the status of a barber is a low position.
Yeah.
It's a low status in society, and you should have a degree because it will elevate your status.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, listen, for now, you just get through sixth form.
Yeah.
Maybe have that convo in 2 years,
Yeah.
but I find that as a very old-fashioned and backwards mentality.
It's hard to take it out of that generation, I would say, especially when it's been instilled in them of
Yeah.
how important education is and how far, supposedly, you can go with it.
Yeah, because look, you went
Times.
all the way to a master's and you didn't even use it
No.
to achieve what you've achieved now.
Not at all.
I got a degree in economics. I don't use it. I
Yeah.
didn't need it to set up my own business. I
Yeah.
didn't even need GCSEs to set up my own business.
Yeah.
So it's at what point in life did you know that?
Yeah, but most entrepreneurs don't actually use their degrees so much. They employ people with degrees, so
It's true.
and the bigger ones that
Yeah.
is. Even Richard Branson, look at me, he doesn't even have GCSEs, as I understand.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for everyone, and you can't paint a brush under the same brush. And most
Yeah.
people generally have to take a degree to go through the working route and find a career and whatever.
Yeah. I'm
And-
definitely not telling the viewers
Yeah.
to not go and go into further education. That's a great tool to have in your shed. In your Swiss Army knife.
Maybe not study business studies because business studies don't get you anywhere in life.
My friend's a wife doing business studies.
That's why they go.
With all the university fees. I don't know if I'd want to go to uni if I was a student now.
Huh?
With all of those fees, no, you're going to be like 30 grand in debt,
Yeah, but
man.
you might not have to pay it back if you're self-employed.
Oh, okay. Well,
If you got a good accountant.
okay.
Inshallah. Let's
yeah.
go back to the topic, right? UK. Now, UK, one of the biggest issues that I have with brothers here, and a lot of brothers, alhamdulillah, they're stacking up. They're making money, whether it's through their work and degrees and whatever, or whether they're self-employed and, able to make good business. They've stacked up, and this is where they make the wrong decisions because every night they're going to sleep, they're looking at their bank accounts. I've got 70K sitting there doing nothing. I've got 150K doing nothing. They want to do something. And usually the first few times they make a mistake. They trust somebody
Correct.
or they put it into a wrong investment. And sometimes greed overtakes as well, and they put it into a very high-risk investment.
And impatience overtakes.
Impatience as well. But one thing I find as well with overseas investments, I've seen more than 1 or 2 cases, bro, of people losing money.
Correct.
But they don't have control over that money.
Yes.
So essentially, I've given it away to another country. And if anything happens to me, which anything could happen, Allah knows what will happen, whether death is the furthest part, other things can happen. How can I take control of that investment and how can the family take control of that as well?
100%.
Because essentially, most of us men are making money for family
100%.
at the end of it.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much we want for ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not that
So-
selfish, bro.
Let's say, for example, you bought. Let's say in Morocco, right? You bought
Yeah.
in Morocco. You can set. Well, first of all, you bought outright. You can split the title if you want, so you can give it to the missus or put the children on there. But let's say children are young, for example. You don't want to give it to them right now.
Yeah.
You can 2 methods. Number 1 is a will.
Mm.
Number 2 is a trust. You can pick what you want to do. I would recommend going down the trust route, but it's up to you.
You put a trust as a second person over the property.
You know, the trust would, you'd be a beneficiary of the
Mm.
trust. The
Mm.
trust would own the property, but you're a beneficiary, so you control the trust. But I prefer having a trust because you can set what happens. So I have a trust, and some of my properties cannot be sold. You can't sell them. So, inshallah, it's later on in my life, right? But let's say I did pass. If my wife wanted to sell particular properties, she couldn't. She's not able to. And my children as well. I have a time frame on there on when they can sell. Probably My son Eamon will probably be around 60 years old by the time he can sell that if he wanted to. And if I have other children, it's up to
No,
them.
they have that as well. They have that in Bangladesh. In fact, there's on the wall they put it that you can never sell that.
You
That's
could
within
have-
that
yeah, you
bloodline for
could-
the
you could-
rest of entirety.
You could have that.
Yeah.
I didn't go that far. Kind of nice to my future kids. Like maybe when you're, but there's you can set. For example, my son, I've put on there. Well, actually, it hasn't been passed by courts yet, so I'm just waiting. But inshallah, when it does get passed, he won't be able to sell any property until he reaches certain criteria. So one of them, it's actually him going uni. And I have particular reasons on why I want him to go, even though I think it's stupid to go.
Mm.
But it's going to uni. One of them is if he is married, and I've protected him this way. Inshallah, when he gets married, his wife can't take anything, even whether I know her or I don't. So I've protected him, even for what's going to happen in the future.
Is that something in the Moroccan law that you could do?
Now I've done it under the trust. Whether it's the trust is it's separate. It's within Moroccan law, yes, but you can override certain decisions. Morocco, it's governed by Islamic law, right? It's governed by it. But if you want to, you can give more, let's say, to a particular individual, even Islamically, if they're not entitled to it. But that's each to their own. I'm not involved
Yeah,
in anything like that.
No, if
But the
you're alive
trust-
and you give it as a gift to the, that's,
Exactly.
that's perfect.
But the trust you can set clear.
So the trustees would be what? Would it be individuals within Morocco, or would it be the actual beneficiaries?
You would set who you want to be on the trust.
Mm.
So you would set it on who you want. So, for example, if let's say you have a wife and 2 kids, right? You put your wife and 2 kids in there. If anything happened to you and you passed, the trust will kick in, and depending on the rules that you set, will go on. So if you want to give your wife full access, give her full access. If you want to,
How is selling in Morocco? I'll tell you what it is. A lot of, and this is within our community as well, from Bangladesh, and a lot of our forefathers, our parents and so forth, invested in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
So we've got a whole load of property and land in Bangladesh. A lot of the Bengalis here. Now some of them go back, try to sell, but it's very difficult to sell and gain access to it. And what ends up happening, unfortunately, and this is the will of Allah, and sometimes we don't think this with overseas investment, and there's a phrase in Bangladesh actually, it goes, "Hiyal khutta khaybo." It's like the dogs and the animals are going to take over that land and property, right? No one else is taking that. And that's what happens, bro. A lot of the times you see derelict buildings in good parts of the towns and cities because there's no inheritor or no one's been able to take it because that whole family's moved to America,
yeah,
Rome, London, certain places. So how can these A, be sold, and B, can the transfer of money or assets be taken easily back to the UK where essentially your primary residence is?
okay. It's a double barrel question. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll answer the first part, which is the process of selling. Process of selling is very easy in Morocco.
Yeah.
And I know it might seem biased because I'm from there, but it truly is. Like, I find it quicker in Morocco than it is here. When I'm selling here, going through conveyancing, the exchange, the completion, I mean, as easy as 3 months. It's taking me up to a year sometimes plus. In Morocco, I can do the transaction within a week if it's a cash buyer. So it can be pretty fast. Longest I've ever had was 4 months, but they used a banking loan for that. And also they took times with the notaries and exchange. But on average, you're looking at around 4 to 8 weeks.
Are these new builds or second-hand?
Any.
What?
Any.
Yeah. Or the properties?
If it's the more people on the title, the longer it can become. So I've had an example. I tried to buy land. Very difficult. There were 28 members on there. 2 brothers did not want to sell.
28 members.
28
Wow.
members, 28.
Mm.
Lahmo, their father passed basically, and he didn't set on the will exactly who should get what. So everyone came, and it was 28 now. That's a lot, and they were all coming for a chunk. That became difficult when you go for transactions like that. But it was a lot of land, so it was good land, and when you don't really find that when you do individual properties. But to answer your question, number 1, very easy, very straightforward. Number 2 was how
Amazing.
easy it is to get money out of Morocco. Can be difficult. The Moroccan dirham is a non-exchangeable token. It's not traded on the stock market. The Moroccan dirham is trapped in the economy. It's very hard to take out. Now, if you are a foreign investor, you need to show that foreign money has come from Morocco. So what you would do is go to Morocco, open up a bank account. Let's say you've got a UK account. You will easily transfer the money, and that's now a wire on the system. You would then go to the exchange office, to tell them that you've done this investment, and they give you a form. You get that form and you hand it to the bank. Now the bank knows that this investment and everything that it makes can't leave the country. Now, if you do it like that, you can take money out of Morocco back to your country. But if you've inherited a property, let's say your father or your mother invested in Morocco and did not do this process, then when you get the money, you ain't taking it out. There are ways to take it out. I mean, you can buy gold, you can do this, you can do that, but we're talking about an easy transaction of a bank transfer. You can't do it. It has to be done in this method.
So the bank transfer, remind me, how does the bank transfer have to be done? Because in Bangladesh, I just realized you actually can't take money out through the bank. If you've got £100,000 in your bank after selling asset there, it's illegal for you to take it out.
Really?
The only way you can take it out is through cash or gold.
You can do a bank transfer.
No, you can't.
No, I mean in Morocco, sorry.
You can, but you said you needed to do a process.
Yeah,
by
you do
which?
this process, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you do this process, so let's say you do this process, right, and you try to take money out, the bank's going to block it, right? And then you go to the bank branch. In Morocco, when you bank somewhere, you have a branch. Not like here. Like, we can go to any HSBC, any Barclays we want. In where you opened up your bank account is the place you need to go to any inquiries that you have. You can always change it, but you would have to go in there, talk to the banking manager, tell them, look, I want to take this out. You guys have it on the system. And within 72 hours, give or take, they would approve it if you've done the process correctly. And then the money will be sent out.
So you have to initially be the investor, show proof that you put the money into Morocco,
or your mother or father who you've inherited the property from done this process, and you rightfully inherited the property and actually sold it and shown on the notary declaration on how much you've done and what you've made and taxes you've had to pay. And if it all lines up and it's all good, then yes. There are boxes to tick.
Interesting.
There are boxes to tick. But is it possible? Yes.
Yeah.
It's not too everything sounds difficult the first time you hear it, but then if you jot it down on a piece of paper and you go through the process, it's quite simple.
Yeah, sure it would be. I want to go back to what you said earlier. You mentioned that in your trust, you've put a condition for your son if he was to get married,
Yes.
that his wife can't
Correct.
Get the money or can't get access to the money. How does that work?
Because he's a beneficiary in the trust, but he can only control what I've set out. So if he's inherited a property, and let's say he's a beneficiary, and let's say I've given him 100% of that particular property, so it's his control. His other siblings don't have it, for example. He doesn't have any other siblings, but let's just say I had, inshallah, a couple more children, right?
Inshallah.
If he gets married, lives a life with this woman, right? If he sells the property, right, and he wants to give her the money, he's welcome to do it because he's going to take it out of the trust to him, and what he does with it personally is allowed. But if, for example, he doesn't want to, and like if it doesn't happen, but let's say his wife chooses to take the property, she can't because she's not
through divorce.
Through divorce,
yeah.
Because she's
The
not.
Moroccan law has it that half the money goes to the wife. Is that how it is? After a divorce.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
I've overread that a little bit.
Yeah. The story of Ashraf Hakimi comes to mind.
You know what it is.
Do you know about it? Saif?
Yeah, I know about it. Yeah,
You know about
and they were having
You
turmoil.
know about footballer stories?
Yeah, but I've seen it there.
Yeah, sorry, you were gonna say.
Put it under his mum's name, right?
Yeah.
Just before, yeah.
One of the main reasons I done
What
it.
if you? Yeah, go on.
Tell me after you.
No, it was silly. I was gonna say if the son loves her so much, like, let her have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if my son Eamon wants to, he can. It's just to protect him.
But he can't give your property to her because you've already bought a trust on it.
Yeah, he can't. He can
So
sell it though.
if he does love her, he needs to make his own property and give it to her.
Exactly. He sells. He can sell it to himself if he wants.
Yeah. Of course.
He can take it out of the trust. There are ways. But the main reason I've done this is I've grew up in a particular way, right? Alhamdulillah, I was very grateful, but humble beginnings, right? The way they're going to grow up is nothing the way I've done. How I've done business, what I've seen in business, they're probably not going to see it. So they are going to be very innocent, right? Compared to what I've seen and how vicious I know people can be. Now, when you
100%, bro, but you're giving the silver spoon to them as well now. So that's how generally
and now let's
generations
put
work.
love into it. Love blinds massively. You can lose everything, and it happens to both parties, not just men but women as well. Both are blinded. I promise you, my children are going to be blinded. And inshallah, they're blinded by good love. It's hard for me to be blinded.
I think Muaz would agree with this one. Women hustle more out of love than men, right?
Yeah, I think that's just, yeah, I think that's human nature.
Hey, my wife is watching. I got.
But I believe it is in your control where you want your son to grow up, your children to grow up with a similar kind of upbringing for you, as you. Like, okay, let me say it a little bit better. We all think we've done okay in life, or let's at least take our positive attributes about us. We all have flaws, right? But you could definitely say that the humble beginnings, hard work that you had to put in, the hours you had to put in. You said you regret going to university, but yet you want your son to go through university. I'm sure what I'm getting at is that whole process builds character. And for me, I still want, no matter how rich I become, I still want my son, my children, to go through that similar process. Now, I'm not going to put them in the gutters and give them extremely, and I never had this, but I'm not going to give them the most humbling of experiences, but I still want them to be humbled. I still want them, I don't want to give them that silver spoon. I don't want to give them, like I grew up never having a PlayStation or a console in my house. I hated it when I was young. I absolutely love it now, and I appreciate my parents for it. So essentially what I'm saying is that the positives in me, I kind of see, I saw how I got there, and I kind of want to put that in my children.
I get you. I get what you mean.
I don't, Muaz. I'll tell you why.
Do you disagree?
Go on.
Do you?
No, it's only on the basis that, and I've seen this with some stingy fathers, not saying that you're going to become one, right? But this brother, he's made, I know this guy that I met recently, he's made so much money, subhanAllah, through property and business and whatever, but he makes his son pay rent. And he's like, I want him to learn. So he's making rent money.
So I'm thinking him work and pay rent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and he's gone over in his uni place, and he's like, I'm not paying for his uni. Let him pay for it. Let him learn. Let him do this and all of that.
I agree with that.
And hold on.
Yeah.
But the point is, the guy's just stacking. He's so stingy. He doesn't spend much on his family.
Yeah.
And he just goes from one property. You've got 50 properties now. Why do you want 51 for, bro? When are you going to spend on your family?
Yeah.
When are you going to spend on your children? Your
That's
children
extreme,
need.
Yeah, that's extreme.
I think
No, but
Definitely don't agree.
it depends if you do it out of
but he's
love.
coming from the same mindset as you, that he wants him to learn.
But
So-
in my opinion,
that
that's
sounds more less towards love and more towards wanting more money in my head.
That
Because
sounds
love is
very
different.
stingy.
Love is like, let's say you do charge. I personally disagree with it, but let's say I do charge my son rent. Like, there's a difference if I do it out of love. I'm doing it because I genuinely want him to learn. Even if he gives me the money and I give it to charity, it's like I don't even want the money. It's
I
just,
don't need him to learn anymore. I've made it in life. You enjoy, brother.
No,
It's
no,
like-
I definitely don't.
I
agree with
think
that.
He'll learn.
No. Because he, like I said, the positive attributes you have, you got that from hard work. Now you're removing that hard work from your children. Are they gonna? They're gonna grow up.
No,
spoiled.
he'll still
You
do
guys-
hard work in
you
the
guys have
common.
children?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, both of you.
Yeah.
Anyway, it'll be an interesting one. That.
So yeah, I mean, he kind of interrupted your answer, but would you want? Because you did mention the university thing. Why is that? Why do you
Universities,
still want them to
that was only in the trust if I died.
okay.
So if I didn't, inshallah, let's say I'm alive,
Inshallah.
it's their choice.
Okay.
It's their choice. You want to go, you can go. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
They'll probably know what my idea is of it. Probably through watching this podcast, they'll know. But I'll try my hardest to kind of remove my thought process into it. Like, I just don't want them to think for what they want. Let's say I don't know. Let's say he wants to study English at university. I think it's bloody stupid. But let's say he does. All right, your father has made good enough money for you to do stupid acts. So if you want to do that, do it.
And what about other things? Like, would you want him to, to know the value of money? Like, you were 15 years old and you were working.
Correct.
Kids these days don't leave their rooms at 15.
Yeah.
We used to fight to go out. Kids are now fighting to stay in.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much better our children's generation is going to be. It might be worse. So, we were hustling. I was like buying multi-pack crisps and sweets
me too.
from Morrison in year 7, or back when it was called Safeway.
Yeah.
And I was putting it in my bag before school starts, and I'd sell it for double the price. You know what I mean? For those of you who went to school with me, you guys know, I used to make tuna baguettes. Wallahi, I used to make tuna baguettes at night. And then, at night I would make the tuna mix, and in the morning I'd go to Spar. Have you guys heard of Spar?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Man.
I'd get the fresh baguette from the bakery, and I'd cut it up and I'd make it, and then at lunchtime I'd sell it. Yeah, and sometimes I would sell out, and the canteen wouldn't. So
You know, this is where you beat me because I didn't go that far. But
yeah, so
I wish I had known this.
so like yeah, the entrepreneurial mindset was there, but the hustling was there, the grinding, and
Yeah.
for me, I see that as knowing the value of money.
Correct.
And I think children nowadays don't know the value of money.
It's very true. It's very true.
So
One of the ways me and my missus, we have quite different opinions-ish on it, right? So we've gonna, when Eamon grows up, inshallah, and our future children, if we have any more,
inshallah,
we're gonna have to talk as parents and see what we do. But what I would like is for Eamon at around 9 or 10, I would love him to do his first property flip. I would,
At 9 or 10.
yeah, 100%.
MashaAllah.
100%. Why not?
MashaAllah. No, that's not
And,
bad.
and
talk
I'll,
us through the details of that.
So I want to teach him how to find property, right? He's going to have his Islamic studies, probably swimming, football, whatever. And then we'll put something extra where I block it out in my calendar and I follow it quite religiously. And I'll teach him, how do we find a deal? Let's find one together and let's do a small one. I don't know how much the average property would cost, at that time. It's like 8 years from now, give or take. But let's say it's a 100k property. We're going to do a 30k flip, right? What GDV are we getting out of it? I'll fund it. Now, he can't have the money. I'm not going to give the kid 20 grand at 10 years old. That's silly. But I will put it somewhere in a pot, or maybe he can get £100 out of it, and we're going to spend it on a new bike, for example. But he learns how to do it, and we carry on, and we make the projects bigger. And if he wants to go to university, well, he's just made 20 grand, so I think he'll be able to afford it by like 11 or 12. But I want to do that with my kids. Now, the problem I have, and the missus told me, is your kids may not want to do property. That's where the issue would arise on, now do I do this? Do I force them to do it? What do I do? So I have to see at that age, does he want to do it?
That's
Try
very
to
true,
push
yeah.
and instill it from a young age all the time, talking about property, but to a point that I don't make him hate it. Right? I don't want him to resent because dad wasn't home, because Baba wasn't home. I now hate property because I can't see him. All of this for property. So I've got to be very smart the way I do it. Yeah, a journey I need to go through and see how it works.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. MashaAllah. That's inshallah you get that.
Yeah, I hope so.
It reminds me of I run a travel company called Sunnah Trek, so it specializes in mountain hiking. So my son always says, I'm going to be a footballer. But if I don't make it as a footballer, I'll still play football, amateur football. And I say to him, okay, but what are you going to do for work? And he goes, I'm going to work with you in the mountains. And I'm like, you know what? Best compliment ever. But let's focus on your football. But no, that's...
Project Mbappe. Yeah.
No, Project Lamine Yamal now. That's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Have you got like a pot of savings somewhere for your child, future children?
No.
You don't? Okay.
That's good. I think that's silly, bro.
You think it's silly?
I have.
I think it's indifferent.
kinda,
to it. Have it or don't have it. It's
I don't have a pot for them, but I have equity in properties, like sell. That if I needed it, but I don't have. I have like an emergency pot, ish, that looks after or carries my life expenses on for like 3 years. So I've got that in the back burners. That's really it. Nothing else.
No, mashallah.
We're okay for 3 years basically.
Yeah.
If something happened.
So, you've got your hands in both the UK and the Moroccan market, right? How do you see yourself in 20 years when you're a bit older and you want to retire perhaps?
48.
Are you going to move back to the UK, sell up in Morocco? And
It's a good question.
have you thought about that?
I have thought about it, but the years is so ahead that what's Maktub is Maktub.
Is it something like, I'm going to make Hijra or settle in Morocco and sell
I
everything?
think if I'm at that age, I'll be shocked if I want to go to a non-Muslim country to retire. Me personally, I'll just be shocked. I would like to go to Islam.
Like you're born and bred here, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But
So this is sort of your home as well, no?
I would consider it. Funny enough, I would consider the UK more of my home than Morocco because
Yeah.
UK is everything for me. I was
Yeah.
born here, bred here.
Same.
Money that I made was here. School was here. Morocco, of course, it still feels like home, but it still feels like a second home. It hasn't yet.
That's how Bangladesh feels for me, bro. And I've got a
Yeah.
lot there to go back to, but still.
Okay, but gun to the head, where would you live if you had a choice? One place, Morocco or
Inshallah. Just walking in, you said you liked it here.
But you did tell me about quality of life in Morocco.
With the person I am today, Morocco.
Really
But if you had asked me a couple years ago, it would have been UK.
interesting.
It's changed as I grew old, especially since I had my son. It really changed massively, like
Interesting.
massively.
Yeah.
Well, the UK.
Yeah, me not wanting to be here because of
We had the previous Moroccan guest that came on, and he said, "We love the UK, but the UK doesn't love us."
There's a lot to say on
Subjective,
that. Yeah, yeah.
That needs a whole other podcast.
I
But
still- I'm not anti. I'm far from anti. I'm actually quite patriotic to the UK.
Yeah.
I might not seem it because I said I live in Morocco.
yeah,
But I don't believe that UK's finished. You completely leave, pack up, take your bag.
no, I
far,
don't.
far
yeah.
from it. I
No,
think
I don't agree with
if you
that.
have the right knowledge, it's amazing to invest here. But gun to my head, I'm choosing Morocco.
Interesting. Well, okay, I guess that's the best way to finish the episode with a gun to the head.
I wanted to
but
talk about taxes, bro.
Wait,
But
we
anyway,
can save that for the next one.
next time, inshallah.
Taxes? That's so boring, man.
I know,
Yeah.
but some people want to know how much they're paying to the government. Bro.
Okay. So, where could we find you?
So
Where
we
could
have
they find
our-
you?
So we have our Instagram, Moroccan
Yeah.
Brothers. We're on TikTok, we're on YouTube if you want to watch us and our vlogs.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, those 3 platforms are the main ones.
All right. The handles are all below, guys, in the description. Give them a follow. Follow their journey. And if you seriously want to get involved, then reach out to them. They should just reach out to you. Yeah.
Just so we have a form. Reach out, and someone on our team will reach out to them and
Brilliant.
have a meeting.
It all seems like a very easy and practical process.
Yeah, I've
so-
tried my hardest, man.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. No. May Allah put barakah in your work.
I
Ameen.
Continue to
Ameen.
increase you
Thank
and,
you.
and
Ameen.
benefit you and allow you to
Ameen.
benefit the ummah and all of those in need as well,
Ameen.
inshallah.
Ameen.
No, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you. I
Jamal.
appreciate it.
Jazakallah
guys.
khair.
Amazing.
Guys, comment below, get involved, and yeah, we've been AAA Talks. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, wicked, man.
Amazing.
Good stuff.